Good Monday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Jim Dickey back with you here on this Monday morning for another edition of Web Weather. Man, it's chilly out there. Since we saw a cold front move through late last week, we've had this steady flow of chilly air. Both mornings of the weekend were down in the low 50s across much of southwest Florida. This morning, we saw more 40s. Not quite to our seasonal low temperature. Punta Gorda fell to 47, the seasonal low 45. Fort Myers 49, seasonal low 48. Naples 1 degree above that seasonal low here too. But I do think those numbers, those seasonal lows, will be changed out in the coming days. This is not just going to be a one-off. The next 2 mornings, even colder than what we saw out there this morning here, as chilly air has entrenched itself. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Now there's a look right now. So I approach 8:45, that is, here in the morning, recording this for you at Punta Gorda Airport, that spot that fell to 47. We've already rebounded by about 5 degrees. We're back in the low 50s now. But a couple things to point out here. First, the dew point, all the way down to 35 degrees. It speaks to the source of this air mass. This is an Arctic air mass, bone dry. We only see the dew points that low here on a handful of days along the Gulf Coast here in Florida. Humidity values right about 50% with those very low dew points. So again, the air just about as dry as it ever feels. And then that right there is going to be the key to today. We have a north-northeast wind at 15 miles per hour. Anytime that wind kicks in, you feel it. There is a bite to that wind, I promise you that, because air coming out of the north means it's this air flowing in. Look at how cold it is across the lower 48. Temperatures in the 20s up and down the I-95 corridor. 16 in Chicago, and that's not even the coldest air out there. The north central portions of the country, the upper Midwest, seeing numbers in the single digits. Rapid City, South Dakota, at 6 degrees right now. Denver is still in the teens. It's been brutally cold over the last week, 2 weeks in Denver. That chilly air continues to flow from north and west to south and east, keeping the eastern half of the country cold going forward. And yes, that's sort of our source region for our cold air here too. You see how the air is flowing into Florida. It's that perfect orientation for the winds to advect cold air into Florida, because you're not getting much of an easterly component of the winds, which would warm up the air mass moving over the Atlantic. You're not getting much of a westerly component that would warm up the air as it moves over the relatively warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Rather, it's a straight shot with that cold air right down the Florida Peninsula, right in to southwest Florida, keeping numbers below average throughout the day here today. On top of that, we're going to keep those winds fairly strong. So even through the afternoon, if you're in the full sun, it's going to feel okay to you. But anytime that wind kicks up, you're going to feel the chill in the air. It's one of those days, one of those rare days where you probably want at least a light coat with you all day long. Temperatures only back in the low 70s in the Fort Myers area despite clear and sunny skies. Again, we keep that wind out of the north in place all day long, limiting just how warm we can get. Here's our forecast model, the temperatures. There you go. It's basically the highs today. A few of us, like Arcadia, like Sanibel, like Clewiston, held in the 60s, right at 70 elsewhere. Low 70s in Collier, a little bit warmer. But once the sun begins to fall in the sky after 3:34 and 4:30, temperatures fall quickly. There's 7 o'clock. We're back down in the 50s already. And temperatures will have every opportunity to continue to fall going through the rest of the evening. And there you go. Now the question is tonight, how strong will the winds be? We sort of saw this play out this morning. Some of the models showing numbers in the low 40s this morning were way off. When you have winds like we'll have a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind continuing through the night. It keeps the atmosphere sort of churned up. It keeps you from maximizing radiative cooling, which would allow us to fall to these lower 40s, perhaps even some spots in the 30s early tomorrow morning. But if you keep the winds a little bit stronger, mixes up the atmosphere, more of us will hold on to the mid and even upper 40s. But compound with that, you have a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind. Now you're talking about the wind chill factor, because it makes it feel colder outside to you, to your skin as you're out and about. So these are the wind chill values, the model wind chill, showing a number of spots, especially along and east of 75, feeling like it's in the 30s early tomorrow morning. So any way you cut it, tomorrow morning is going to be a chilly one. Wednesday morning will be too. Both mornings we're talking low temperatures in the mid to low 40s. Some spots could even see the 30s. Wind chill values in the 30s. So you're going to want those heavier coats. The winter gear, you'll need them the next couple of mornings. You keep it in your closet all year long for these handful of mornings. These are a few of them that we're going to be dealing with early here in this December. But from there, temperatures do rebound. Low 50s Thursday morning, back to the upper 50s for Friday and Saturday, and then numbers back in the 60s by Sunday and Monday. High temperatures will be pushing back toward 80 by the time we get to the weekend as well. So we'll get through it. We'll warm up before long, as we always do here in Florida. And then you take a look at the rain totals. Nothing. We're going to keep it dry throughout the next 7 days. I don't think there's a single drop of rain anywhere along the Gulf Coast as we head through this first full week of the month of December. So chilly but dry, plenty of sunshine, but still feeling cool even during the afternoons. That's what we'll be dealing with over these next couple of days. So be sure you have those coats with you. You'll likely need them, especially during the early morning hours. I'll have a full update on your forecast. Dive in on some of those low temperatures region-wide here over the next couple of days. Coming up in just a couple of minutes on More in the Morning at 9. Hope to see you then.